morning, friends. So today I am going to continue the chapter number 4 of the aquatic ecosystem. So in the aquatic ecosystem, we have seen the importance of the aquatic ecosystem, the lake ecology, okay, the wetland ecosystem, harmful algal blooms. So we have covered these 4 topics. So the topics that left over in this chapter are the estuary, mangroves, and the coral reefs. So in this class, I am going to take the session on the estuary. Okay, guys? Our topic for today's discussion is estuary. So we all are aware of that. What is estuary? Estuary is the place or the region where the river meets the sea is known as the estuary. So the place or the region where the river meets the sea is known as the estuary. So this region is known as the estuary. So this is river, guys. Okay, river. So where river meets the sea is known as estuary. So what does it mean? River is having the fresh water, guys. So river is having the fresh water, whereas sea is having the saline water. Okay, salt water. Okay, so we can say that the place where the fresh water meets the saline water is called as estuary. Okay, so the PPT, that is the salt content, is 0 to 5, or we can say that less than 5 PPT. PPT is parts per thousand. If you take any quantity per thousand, it contains the less than 5 parts. That is the river water. So the river water is having the salt content less than 5 PPT, whereas the salt that present in the sea is more than 35 PPT. Okay, more than 35 PPT. So this reason we can terminate it as the brackish. Okay, guys. So brackish is having the PPT between the 0 to 35. 0 to 35. So that is the salt content of this estuary is 0 to 35 PPT. Okay. So clear, guys. So estuary is then very, very important, guys. Why? Because these are the productive water bodies in the world. Why? Because the habitat of the estuary is that of intermediates, that is from the river and from the sea. These having the characteristics intermediate of the river and the sea. So these are the productive water bodies in the world. Okay, guys, in this the tides play a very important role in the estuaries. Why? Because the tides that come from the sea, okay, the sea tides will take the entire resources present in the estuaries into the sea. Like for example, the nutrients present in the estuary will be taken back by the sea, guys. Okay, and the water, yeah, we can say the nutrients are the available sources. Okay, those all will be taken by the sea as a backwater into the seas. Okay, so the tides play a very important role in the estuaries. Okay, guys, clear what do you mean by estuary? Shall we move to the characteristics of the estuary? Now I am going to take the characteristics of the estuary. Okay, characteristics of the estuary. Characteristics. So if you see the characteristics of the estuary, so estuary is the semi-river body, guys. So semi-water body where the one or more rivers flowing into it. Okay, estuary is the semi-water body. So semi-water body where the one or the more than one river flowing into it, okay, is called as estuary. Okay, guys. So this will pass to the sea. So guys, the flow is in such a manner: river, estuary, and sea. So the river, that is the one or more river, pass to the estuary, and from estuary the water is washed away to the sea. This is the one of the characteristics of the estuary, guys. Okay. So the estuary is having the population approximately 60%, guys. So approximately 60% of the population lives in the estuary, because the estuary is suitable condition for the population to get the resources, guys. Why? Because there the water is very good, guys. Why? Because the brackish water has characteristic between the rivers and the sea. Okay, so we have approximately 60% of population present over here. Okay, so that's why we have human settlements over in this region. Human settlements. human settlements we have over in this region. Okay, so these regions are also form delta base. Why? Because the river brings the content, that is silt. Okay, silt along with them, and they deposit at the estuary. So they form the deltas over the estuary. So we have very useful if it forms the deltas. Okay, the example is Sundarban delta. Okay, deltas formation. Deltas formation. Okay, so after the deltas formation, and they form the nutrients. So the rivers along with the seed, they bring the nutrients from the other sources and deposit here, guys. Okay, so they form the nutrients over here. Okay, they form the nutrients over this region. Okay, so the nutrients again, this is again from this air is going to the seed. So this is the cycling process, guys. Okay, the nutrient is cycled. Okay, and the energy is stored here. Clear? So whatever the rivers brings the nutrient with them in this part, they form the here, and this nutrient content is again washed away through the seas, guys, through the sea water. Means in the form of tide, it is washed through the sea. These are the few characteristics of the deltas. Okay. So now we are going to see when we say that the estuary is an healthy estuary. So when we can say the estuary is a healthy estuary. So for the estuary to be healthy, the first one is biodiversity. Biodiversity. So the biodiversity in that region should be more enough. That is, the plants and animals present over that region should be more in the number, guys. Okay. Second one. So they should store the nutrients. Store nutrients. Okay. They should store nutrients, and this nutrition again be recycled. Okay, guys. So in the characteristics, I have explained how these nutrients are recycled. So what are the nutrients that bring by the river will again taken away by the sea through the tides. Okay, again this process, again it will come and again it will go. So this process takes place. This is called as recycling process, and it stores the nutrients. Okay. So and third one we have. So these are the one having the detoxifying pollutants. Detoxifying pollutants. So the pollutants should not toxify. Okay, it should be detoxifying pollutants. Okay, guys. So and after that we can say that these estuaries support the like mangroves. So we are going to take a special session on the mangroves after this, and the salt marshes. So these support the mangroves and the salt marshes. Okay. So if we are found this type of characteristics at the estuary, we can say that the estuary is healthy. Okay. Biodiversity is good enough, store nutrients and the recycle, and detoxify pollutants, and this supports the mangroves and the salt marshes. So then we can say that this estuary is very healthy. So if we see the life in the estuary, so estuary, as we are know that in the estuary the flooding takes place. Why? Because the sea through the tides it washes away, or the sea water through the tides it comes to the estuary. So in this process, what happens? The flooding takes place, guys. So the flooding and the climatic conditions suit for the region are very less. So if the habitats present over there are good enough, then they have the good source of life. Okay. The example that we take is, so we have the sea grasses and sea lions, sea turtles. So these are the habitat that place at the estuary. So and the production also very important role in the estuary. What do you mean by production? Production is nothing but the one organism depend upon the another for the prey is known as the production. As it is, I explained that is the plus and minus. So plus and minus is the form, that is the one is benefited and the other is affected. Okay. So prey and production. protection play a very important role in the life in the ecosystem, guys. So now we will see what are the benefits of the estuary. So how the estuary is going to benefit, guys. Okay, so benefits. If you see the benefits of estuary, first one is the recreation values. Recreational values. What do you mean by recreational values? Recreational values are this nothing but simply example is fishing, guys, and scuba. So it is the one which gives us the pleasure, okay, during the leisure times. So during the leisure times we do the fishing, okay, and scuba. So these all things take place in the estuary, guys, okay. So this is called as recreational values, okay. So it gives pleasure in the leisure times, like fishing and the scuba diving. All those things are examples of the recreational values. And after that, we have the it is used for the agriculture purposes. Agriculture, okay. So and ecotourism, okay. Shipping. So these are the benefits of the estuary, okay. So we have many benefits in the estuary, guys, okay. So after this, now I am going to see simple statistics of the Indian estuary. So if you see the Indian estuary, estuaries can be of different types, guys, sizes. So major, the moderate and the minor. So in India we have 14 major estuaries, okay, 14 major estuaries and 44 moderate and the approximately 162 small estuaries. So the more number of estuaries found on the region of the Bay of Bengal, guys, okay. The more is found on the Bay of Bengal, and the major estuaries are also found on the Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal region. So the Bay of Bengal region is good, is the good for the estuaries. So here we are having the more and the major. At this side, that is at the Arabian Ocean, we have the small estuaries and the less number. So this is about the Indian statistics of the estuaries, guys. Now we are going to see what are the issues in the estuaries, or the issues, or we can say the effect. Okay. So what the issues that is facing the estuaries at nowadays? Okay, issues. If you see the issues, first one is I said that the population are living. So the more and more population are living over there, and the settlement is happening. So those are making those estuaries pollutant, guys. Pollutant. So those are making the estuaries pollutant. Okay, pollutant and degradation. Pollutant and degradation. This is the first and foremost point. Okay, and after that I said that the estuaries are useful for the recreation values. Okay, so those are useful for the recreation values and for the tourism also, guys. Okay, so but the utilization is not happening at the proper way. So the recreation values and the tourism affecting the estuary, guys. Like for example, tourist, guys. So tourist can visit the estuaries, guys, for their importance, but they are dumping the plastic over there, okay, and they are misusing the ecosystem, guys. Okay, so in such a manner they are affecting the estuary, guys, and the same in the recreation values also. So in the recreation, so in the name of recreation, they are affecting the ecosystem, guys. That is recreation and tourism. Okay, so recreation and tourism also affecting the ecosystem, guys. So after that we are having the land use planning. Okay, so land use planning. So the way the land should be used is many don't know, guys. So like they use the land as their wish. Okay, that is for the agriculture purposes. Okay, means they can use the land for agriculture purpose, but should be in a proper manner. So by using the required amount of pesticides, fertilizers, and the manures. Okay, if the overuse, then again the estuary area won't be get its habitat back. Okay, the development activities. Okay, so in the benefits we can say that it is also development activities will take place in the estuary case. So in the land use for the development we are destroying the estuaries. Okay, so these are the few issues that we are having with the estuaries. Okay, so and after that we are having the polluted and degradation, recreation, tourism. Okay, guys, and the biodiversity loss. Okay, guys. So after that the reduce in the water. So not reduce, guys, that is increase in the water wise. But because of the climatic changes, the Arctic region is melting, guys. So on the huge amount of water is coming. So in such a manner, the issue is getting affected. That is the climate change issues. So these are the few issues with the estuaries, guys. Okay. So we have done with importance of the estuaries, guys. Characteristics. Okay. So after the characteristics, we have done the when we say that estuary is an healthy estuary. Okay. And after that we have done with the so after that healthy estuary, we have done the life in the estuary, the benefits and the issues. So what are the different names that we call as the estuary? So the different names are the bays, okay, bay, okay, the lagoon, okay, harbor. So these are the different names we can call the estuary, guys. Okay, and in the issues, so because of the shipping, guys, shipping and drizzling. So drizzling is nothing but the removal of the mud in the region where the ship travels. The removal of the mud in the region where the ship travels is known as drizzling. Okay, these also affect the ecosystem, guys. The shipping, guys. So shipping also indirectly affects the estuary. So this is about the estuary, guys. So I think I have clearly explained the importance of the estuary, guys. Okay. So after this class, we please try to see the notes the once again. Okay. So that it will clearly enter your concept. So in this chapter, we have left with only two topics, guys. That is the mangroves and the coral reefs. These two topics I will take tomorrow. Okay. So I'm going to start the pointing sessions also, guys. Okay. If you are interested in any topics, so please inform me so that I will take the class on such topics. Okay. Thank you one and all. Good morning, friends. So today we are continuing the chapter number 4, that is aquatic ecosystem, guys. Okay. So in the previous classes we have seen the importance of the aquatic ecosystem. Okay. And after that we have seen the lake ecology, eutrophication, a harmful algal blooms, the wetland, estuary. So we have seen these 6 topics. So on the leftover topics for our discussion in this chapter is the importance of the mangroves and the last topic is coral reefs. So these two topics are also very important for our discussion. So in this session now I am going to take the importance of the mangroves. So the topic for today's discussion is mangroves. Okay. So what do you mean by mangroves? Okay, guys. So mangroves plays a very important role in the ecosystem, guys. So especially during the floods, I mean during the monsoon season, this plays a very important role. Now if you see what mangroves are, so mangroves are the littoral plants, guys. What do you mean by littoral plants? Littoral plants is nothing but the plants or the shrubs or the small green plants lives along the shoreline of the river, lakes, okay, or the seas. These are called the littoral plants. So littoral plants is nothing but the plants or the trees or the shrubs lives, okay, along the shoreline of the rivers or the lakes. These are called as littoral plants. So mangroves are also the same, the littoral plants, okay, which that is the trees and the bushes, okay, lives in the below the high water region. Okay, guys. So these mangroves present at the high water region, below the high water region, and have the ability to salt tolerance. Okay, guys, and have the ability to salt tolerance. It means the salt content in the mangroves, okay, in the place where the mangroves leaves are very much high, that is the brackish water or the sea water, guys. So this is about the mangroves. Okay. So I repeat exact, guys. So mangroves are the trees and the shrubs exist are present below the high water level. Below the high water level and have the tolerate to the salt. Okay, is called as mangroves. Okay, so the place where mangroves are present are, so these mangroves are present at the tropical and the subtropical regions, guys. So that is approximately 25 degrees north and south. 25 degrees north and 25 degrees south. So at this region, the mangroves are present. So these are also called as subtropical. Subtropical. Okay. And the conditions are the salt water. As I said, they have the ability to salt tolerance. Means these are not present at the fresh water, guys. So these can be present at the brackish and salt waters. Salt waters. Okay, guys. So the mangroves are the trees and bushes present below the high water levels. Below the high water levels and have the ability to salt tolerance is called as mangroves. So they are present between the 25 degrees north and south. Okay, and subtropical regions. So at the 25 degrees north and the 25 degrees south. Subtropical regions, and these are the brackish and the salt waters, guys. So present at the brackish and the salt water. Now we will see characteristics of the mangroves. So if you see the characteristics of the mangroves, so characteristics. So the first and foremost characteristics are evergreen land plants that has the one which are present at the shelters of the seashore, guys. So now I explain the definition of the mangroves. So where are this type of mangroves are the found? So these are found at the evergreen land plants, guys. So these are the evergreen land plants found at the protected shore places. So what do you mean by protected shore places? So I said protected shore places. Protected, or we can say sheltered. Okay, sheltered shorelines. So what are the examples of the sheltered shorelines? I explained it many times just in the previous classes. We have the lagoons. Okay, at the lagoons, at the estuary. Okay, so at these places means at the lagoons, at the estuary, and at the bay. So yet these places the mangroves are found. Means these are the regions which will have the brackish or the salt water. Okay, brackish or the salt water. So yet these places the mangroves will grow. Okay, these are at the shoreline of the river, lake, or the seas. Okay, and these are sheltered. Sheltered means protected. Okay, protected or sheltered, taken care. Okay, guys. So these are the evergreen land plants grown at the sheltered seashore. Okay, guys. Clear? And second one. So after this, we can find the. So we can find the. These are also found where the rivers brought the silt. So where the rivers brought the silt and have the beach, guys, and have the beaches. So these are found at the rivers brought silt or sandy beaches. Okay, guys. So these places are good conditions for the mangroves. Okay, where the rivers brought silt along with them during its flow and at the sandy beaches, guys. Okay, these are the places. On third one, so if you see its adaptation, guys. If you see its adaptation, so they are adapt to the two things, guys. First one is salt tolerance. Why? Because the mangroves are present at the more salt content. So they are to be salt tolerance and also flooding. Okay, flooding is nothing but the water lodge. So not flooding, guys, we can take as the water lodge. So the place where the water lodge is more. Why? Because these are one which grows in the water, guys. So below the high water level. So adaptation should be salt tolerance. So the species that present or the plants should be tolerant to the salt. Okay, and the water lodge. So then only they can grow over that region, guys. So this is about the adaptation, and these require the solar radiation. Okay, guys. Okay. So this solar radiation for the mangrove should be more, guys. Okay, and has the ability to the salt tolerance. Okay. So if you see it, so guys, after that, this should be having the mangroves are the one which have the viviparity mode of adaptation, guys. Viviparity. What do you mean by viviparity? Viviparity is nothing but seed germination in the tree itself. Okay, seed germination in the tree itself. Viviparity is nothing but the development of an organism from embryo. Like if you take the example of the human beings, from embryo to its final characteristics that takes place in the himself, that takes place in the main organism itself. It is called as viviparity. So the mangroves also exhibit viviparity mode of germination. Okay. So after this, we are having the glands, guys. So these are having the glands which is secrete the salt. Okay, glands which is secrete the salt. Glands which secrete salt. Okay, guys, and these are having the thick leaves. Okay, thick leaves which is secrete the salt content. So these are the characteristics of the mangroves, guys. So after that, if you see types of mangroves. So if you see types of mangroves, we have two types of mangroves, guys. For example, okay, guys. Okay, so these are the root, guys, and this is the main tree, and these are present at the water level. Okay, so the roots come outer surface. So these are the arching roots. Arching roots. Okay, guys. Means these are the arching roots, and the roots come out for breathing, guys. Okay, for the purpose of breathing, these roots come out. So the examples of this type of root is called rhizotope. So rhizopores. Okay, so rhizopores are the examples of this type of arching roots, guys. Okay, the second type, if you see, so second type is having the vertical, guys. Okay, so these are called the vertical roots. So these are called example nematode nematopores. So nematopores. These are the examples of the nematopores, and these are the vertical roots. These are having the arching roots, right? So these come out for the breathing, guys. Okay, so these are the two types of mangroves present. Okay, now we will see what are the benefits of the mangroves. Okay, so in what ways the mangroves are benefited, guys? Okay, the usefulness of the mangroves. or we can say we can say the role of mangroves. Role of mangroves. What is the role of mangroves? So the role of mangroves. So the roots that I explained in now. So these are the good place for the fishing grounds, guys. Okay, fishing grounds. So those places are useful for the fishing grounds. Okay. So after that, these mangroves play a very important role in the monsoonal tidal floods. So during the monsoon season, we get the rainfall, guys. So the rainfall is very more and it flood. Okay. So during that time, the monsoon routes will restrict the flow of rain from entering the lowland areas, such that the regions which are present or the people living at the low regions will not get affected by the that much. Okay, so monsoon tidal flood. Okay, these restrict the monsoon tidal flood and also inundation of coastal land. Okay, so it also restricts the inundation of the coastal land. Okay, so this plays a very important role in the ecosystem, guys. Okay, so after this, if we see, and these are having the place where there is the germination, or we can say the harvesting for the not only fishing grounds, for other organisms also. Means we can say good habitat, yes, we can say, or we can say good germination. Okay, good germination at this places. Okay, after that we are having these are the one which are having the flora, means plants, animals, that is the birds and the wildlife. So these places have the number of plants, fauna, okay, and wildlife. Fauna means birds. Okay, birds. So these are having the plants, fauna, and the wildlife. Okay, so human settlement. Okay, the human settlement also present at this mangrove regions. Okay, and after that we have the employment opportunities. Employment opportunities. Okay, so these are the few benefits or the role that the mangroves plays in the ecosystem, guys. So this is very, very important. This point is very important because it acts as it will restrict the flow of water to not entering into the lowland areas. Okay, these roots make them to stop. Okay, so after this we are going to see what are the issues in the mangroves. Okay, issues in the mangroves are, if you see issues, so these mangrove places they are using for the aquatic, that is commercial aquatic cultivation. Commercial aquatic cultivation. Okay, so they are clearing the and plants over the trees present over there, and they are doing the commercial aquatic cultivation. So after that, the agriculture. Okay, agriculture, and we have the issue of oil spills. Oil spills. What do you mean by oil spills? Oil spills is nothing but, so the way or the one way or in the other way, the water, the aquatic is getting the oil gas. Okay, so the reason may be many. So for example, during the ship travel, so during the shipping, the if there is any like if there is any fault or if there is any issue in the ship, the oil from the ship will enter into the aquatic ice. So this will affect the aquatic life in the water. Okay, in such a way, so in the one reason or the other reason, the oil enters the aquatic region. So this is the very important, guys. Okay, this affect the habitat present in the aquatic. So not only from the ship, so due to our anthropogenic activities, that the chemicals will directly enter, that will directly throw, okay, from the agricultural activities, okay, from many other industries. So this will make to release those the waste and those contain the oil gas. So into the aquatic, and indirectly that oil will affect the aquatic in the ecosystem. Okay, oil spills and industries. Okay, so these are the few issues, guys. These are not fixed. Okay, you should know what means, what you mean by mangroves. Okay, mangroves क्या है? So after that you should realize. So this is the mangroves. So how best you can affect it or कैसा कर रहे? Means all these things should be known. These are not the fixed answers, guys. So these are, so we can rate. So we can rate the issues of the mangroves at an entire word. Okay, you should know whether this statement is right or wrong. Whether this is right or wrong. So these are the general questions, guys. Okay, these are the general answers. So what are the benefits? So in the previous topic before this, I explained the importance or the role of mangroves. So I mentioned few, guys. You can rate as many as mangroves, so they can balance the ecological system. Okay, guys. So those will give the those are benefit to the birds as they can stay over the trees. Okay, guys. Okay, so like that you can write many benefits. Okay, those are not the fixed. These are the general answer types. Okay, so after the issues, now I come up with the last topic, that is the profile of the India. So Indian profile of the mangroves. So the mangroves can be found. So mangroves found in the Sundarban deltas, guys. Sundarban delta. Sundarban delta in India are having the mangroves block and single block, and they are the largest mangroves present over there. Okay, so their habitat is the Royal Bengal tiger. Royal Bengal tiger and the crocodiles are present over their regions. Okay, and after that we have Chilika Lake at Bhitarkarnika in Odisha. Okay, and in Tamil Nadu, Pichavaram. Okay, guys, and the Krishna and the Godavari river, we have on the both sides we have the mangroves, guys. Okay, the run of Kutch, Andaman and the Nicobar. So these are the places where the mangroves are found in India, guys. So with this, I am closing my session about the mangroves, guys. So this is a very solid topic, guys. In this chapter, we are going to see 5 solid topics. This is one of the solid topics. The first one is the wetlands, estuary, mangroves, corals, and eutrophication. These are the 5 solid topics for our preparation in this chapter. So in this chapter, we are left with only one topic, that is coral reefs. Coral reefs, very, very important topic. I will come up with this topic tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.